Why is retro game collecting so hard nowadays? It feels like everything you need to take a loan out for. I went to the Southeast Game Exchange last weekend, and I gotta say, it was pretty cool. For my first event, I'd say that I had a good time, though it was a little smelly. I was able to see a lot of old retro game stuff. I've been someone who's been dying to collect retro consoles for a very long time. And I actually even got one. I got a Genesis for $50, which I gotta say is a pretty good deal for a Genesis. The not so great things is getting the games. I ended up getting 3 games. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I say that, but Sonic 2 was actually $10, so it wasn't terrible. But Sonic 3 and Knuckles combined was $60. That's as much as a new game. As much as I like to complain about spending the $60, I gotta say, not only did I really choose to spend that money, so I can't really put the blame on anyone else, but I also think it's really weird that there's games out there that are going for more that have been around for a very long time. And I just don't understand what's the point about it. I understand that some of these games are near and dear to all of us. I mean, some of these games are to me too. But the fact that some of these things go for $500? Yeah, no, that's just way too much. And that's just a cartridge alone. If you want to get the game with the case, then you might as well pay an arm and a leg. And to be honest, it makes it kind of harder for someone like me who's starting to get into this retro gaming collection thing, because all the games that I want are going to be super expensive. Like, I'm going to have to get $150 for the GameCube, then I'm going to have to pay the $60 if I want to get a game, because all the games for the GameCube are apparently $60. Which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to get a GameCube and then Pikmin. But that would have been like close enough to like $250. That's actually just insane. And not to mention any of the Pokemon games for that console too, because that thing will go for a crazy amount, and I think that would just be too much of a headache for anyone to try to get. And don't even get me started on things like the Sega CD or the 32X. Now, I don't really care too much about the 32X or the Sega CD, but the fact that these things are crazy expensive and they're add-ons. Are you kidding me? I saw a 32X that went for $450. That's genuinely insane. And not to mention the games themselves go for crazy amounts. I don't know if anyone's seen, but Knuckles Chaotix is just as expensive as the 32X. Like, we cannot be more serious than this. I'm sure I can get better prices for just the Genesis and the NES and SNES and stuff like that, because by this point, everyone's pretty much already had their nostalgia cravings filled up, so I don't really think I'll have to deal too much with that. But for anything that's like N64, Saturn, Dreamcast, GameCube, like, that stuff is going to be expensive. Actually, let's talk about the Dreamcast for a minute. I went to that convention, and I was kind of hoping to get a Dreamcast too. But I saw a Dreamcast for like $150, which for a console isn't the worst thing. I know it's complaining about the GameCube, but at the end of the day, that wasn't really terrible for a console either. But the games, oh my gosh. Sonic Adventure 2 for $65? Yeah, no, we gotta wrap it up. And not even to mention the Saturn, because I saw Sonic R for $180. You know how insane that is? Sonic R isn't even that great of a game. I know I like that game, okay? But it's not that great, and it's not worth $180. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on current collecting. Maybe one day I'll do some sort of collecting thing. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, see ya.